In the heart of a city built on dreams, a sinister tale unfolded, captivating the world with its brutality and mystery. Welcome to Night Mystery Stories, where we embark on a chilling journey through the enigma that is the Black Dahlia murder. In the late 1940s, the Black Dahlia murder sent shockwaves through the city of Los Angeles. Elizabeth Short, a young aspiring actress, was brutally murdered, her body found mutilated and severed in two. The gruesome crime captivated the public's attention, and the investigation into her murder was marked by a series of complex twists and turns. On the morning of January 15, 1947, a mother and her young daughter were out for a walk in the Leimert Park neighborhood of Los Angeles when they stumbled upon a horrifying sight. In a vacant lot on Norton Avenue, they discovered the mutilated body of Elizabeth Short. The crime scene was shockingly brutal, with Short's body severed at the waist and her face sliced from the corners of her mouth toward her ears, creating a haunting grin known as the Glasgow smile. As investigators delved into the chilling crime, several suspects emerged, each with their own backgrounds and circumstances that made them potential persons of interest. Let's explore their stories. Dr. George Hodel, a prominent physician with a dark past, became a central figure in the investigation. His son, Steve Hodel, a retired LAPD detective, was convinced that his father was the Black Dahlia killer. Steve's own investigation and evidence seemed to connect Dr. Hodel to the crime. Driven by a history of violence and alleged involvement in criminal activities, Dr. Hodel appeared to be a prime suspect. However, as investigators scrutinized the evidence, doubts began to emerge. Despite the suspicious circumstances surrounding Dr. Hodel, including allegations of incest and other criminal behavior, no concrete evidence could definitively link him to the Black Dahlia murder. The lack of physical evidence, reliable witnesses, and a solid motive led investigators to question Steve Hodel's claims and move away from his father as a primary suspect. The specific alibi for Dr. Hodel during the time of the murder was not extensively documented, making it difficult to establish his whereabouts conclusively. Another intriguing suspect in the case was Leslie Dillon, an acquaintance of Elizabeth Short. Dillon, a bellhop and aspiring writer, had a morbid fascination with death, which raised suspicion among investigators. He was arrested and put on trial for the murder, with hopes of finding justice for the Black Dahlia. However, as the trial progressed, doubts began to surface. Leslie Dillon's alibi during the time of the murder was challenging to verify. While there were gaps in his whereabouts, investigators could not establish concrete proof linking him to the crime. As the trial proceeded, the lack of substantial evidence and an inability to establish a strong motive resulted in Dillon's acquittal. He was ruled out as a viable suspect, leaving the case once again without a clear culprit. Mark Hansen, the owner of a popular nightclub, also found himself under scrutiny. Hansen had connections to Elizabeth Short, making him a potential suspect in the eyes of investigators. With a shady reputation and involvement in the city's nightlife, he became a person of interest. Yet, as investigators dug deeper, they encountered a lack of concrete evidence directly linking Hansen to the murder. The absence of a solid motive and the inability to establish his presence at the crime scene led to his dismissal as a suspect. Another figure that captured investigators' attention was Jack Anderson Wilson, a former mortician with a dark past. Wilson's association with the funeral industry and his potential knowledge of dissection and body mutilation raised suspicions. However, despite the unsettling circumstances surrounding him, investigators were unable to find substantial evidence directly linking Wilson to the Black Dahlia murder. Despite his troubled history, Wilson's alibi and lack of concrete proof eventually led to his elimination from the list of suspects. As the investigation into the Black Dahlia murder gained momentum, a new twist emerged that sent shockwaves through the Los Angeles Police Department. On January 24, 1947, the Los Angeles Examiner received a chilling letter that would further complicate the case. The letter, signed as the Black Dahlia Avenger, claimed responsibility for the heinous crime and contained details about the murder that had not been made public. Detective James Sullivan stared at the letter in disbelief. Its contents sent shivers down his spine. The author brazenly declared, "Here it is. Turning in Wednesday, the 15th of January, 10 p.m. Had my fun at police. Black Dahlia Avenger." The knowledge of specific details, undisclosed to the public, heightened concerns within the investigative team. It seemed like the killer was taunting them, mocking their efforts to solve the case. As the detectives analyzed the letter, it became apparent that the Black Dahlia Avenger wanted recognition and attention. The letter was meticulously crafted, suggesting a level of intelligence and a desire to exert power over the investigation. It hinted at a deeply disturbed mind, reveling in the fear and chaos caused by the murder. The content of the letter introduced a new level of complexity to the investigation. The detectives grappled with the question of whether the Black Dahlia Avenger was truly the killer or an individual seeking to exploit the situation for their own gain. It was crucial to separate fact from fiction and identify the true motivations behind the letter. One theory was that the letter was a hoax, concocted by someone seeking notoriety or hoping to divert attention away from the real killer. The intricate knowledge of the crime scene, combined with the audacity to claim responsibility, made it difficult to dismiss the letter outright. It demanded further scrutiny. Detective Sullivan and his team meticulously analyzed the letter, searching for any clues that might reveal its author. The handwriting was carefully examined, comparing it to known samples from the suspects and potential persons of interest. They also sought the expertise of handwriting experts to aid in the analysis. Yet, the results were inconclusive. The letter appeared to be written in a deliberate attempt to disguise the author's identity, adding another layer of complexity to the investigation. As the detectives delved deeper into the case, they began to suspect that the Black Dahlia Avenger letter may have been crafted by someone with an intimate knowledge of the crime. The letter contained details only known to the investigators and the killer, leaving them puzzled. Was the author someone who had inside information or a mere observer who managed to gather specific details from media reports? Several theories emerged regarding the potential author of the letter. Some believed it could have been written by an individual connected to law enforcement, attempting to manipulate the investigation from within. Others theorized that the author might have been a journalist or someone with access to insider information. The possibility that the killer himself wrote the letter to taunt the police was not dismissed either. As the investigation continued, the detectives meticulously interviewed individuals connected to the case, including witnesses, acquaintances of Elizabeth Short, and even the initial suspects. They hoped to uncover any leads that could shed light on the origins of the letter and its potential author. But the search yielded little substantial evidence. As time passed, the initial suspects gradually faded from the spotlight. The lack of concrete evidence, reliable alibis, and the inability to establish strong motives forced investigators to look elsewhere for answers. The case grew colder, and new leads became scarce. The Black Dahlia murder remained an unsolved enigma, haunting the annals of crime history. Decades later, The Black Dahlia Murder and the Black Dahlia Avenger letter continue to fascinate and perplex investigators and the public alike. The search for the truth and the identification of the killer persist, ensuring that the Black Dahlia's tragic story and the quest for justice are never forgotten. The Black Dahlia murder case serves as a chilling reminder of an unsolved crime that has left an indelible mark on history. The mystery surrounding Elizabeth Short's murder remains unsolved, and the true identity of the killer continues to elude justice. Law enforcement agencies periodically review the case, hoping that advances in forensic technology or new leads may shed light on the identity of the killer. However, to this day, no breakthrough has occurred that would bring closure to the Black Dahlia murder. Despite the lack of resolution, the Black Dahlia murder continues to captivate the public's imagination, fueling countless books, films, and documentaries. Elizabeth Short's tragic fate has become an enduring symbol of the dark underbelly of Hollywood and the unsolved mysteries that haunt the corridors of justice. The story of the Black Dahlia serves as a haunting testament to the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of even the most vibrant and promising lives. If you found this exploration of the Black Dahlia murder intriguing, make sure to subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for more intriguing crime stories and mysteries around the world. Remember to share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious and keep seeking the truth.